Hello, in this video I want to talk to you a little bit about something that's been a huge trend of lately, and it's the sale of NFTs in the art world, in one art world anyway, but it's a global phenomena. There's a lot talked about it. You hear about artists making a lot of money, collectors making a lot of money, and I want to give an overview of it that may help you to understand it a little bit more. So to begin with, if you as an artist want to become part of this and you want to possibly sell your art as an NFT, what it means essentially is that you're offering your artwork for sale, whether it's digital, and it can be just purely digital art, meaning anything from an image, a photograph, or a tweet, or almost anything that is that's digital. Well, anything that's digital right now, a video as well, anything like that. You're selling it, and you're selling it for a cryptocurrency. That's something that's critical here. In order for you to sell your art as NFT, it has to be available to buy with cryptocurrency. And the cryptocurrencies that people are using to buy NFTs are a variety of them, but primarily Ethereum and Bitcoin. So to begin with, if you have Ethereum or Bitcoin, or if you've never had Ethereum or Bitcoin, you'd have to start finding out how to get those. And there's a number of ways to do that. Coinbase is one, and creating a coin wallet is one. Another way to walk you through this whole process is to go to a site called superrare.io and try to buy a piece. So let me just give you an overview on all of this because it's complex, right? And I can't explain all of it. When I first started understanding about this and when we all started hearing about it, I bought a book on cryptocurrencies and blockchain for beginners to understand where this is all coming from. So that there is something major happening here. And I want to try to explain it in a way that's simple, and that also gives you a way of taking advantage of it, of selling your art as NFT and getting involved in this very hot trend right now. So, okay, to begin with, cryptocurrency is the basis of all of this. If you've never used cryptocurrency or owned cryptocurrency, that's something you're going to have to get involved in. And that's not too easy or too difficult to figure out how to do. It's easy to do, but it's something that you must begin with and understand that people are going to be buying this with cryptocurrencies. Now, cryptocurrencies, if you're getting 5 Ethereum or 5 Bitcoin or whatever it is, they can be translated into dollars or whatever currency you're in. Just like any currency in the world, they can be turned into another currency. They can be, we can be withdrawn in dollars or whatever your currency is. So that's not really the problem for you. But the initial hurdle of understanding is you must own some cryptocurrency. Okay. The underlying basis of cryptocurrency and why it's interesting and why this phenomena is interesting is because of something called blockchain technology. Blockchain technology, though it's a complex system to understand, essentially it's what makes cryptocurrency work, right? Cryptocurrency isn't printed. It's not an actual coin. It's an electronic currency. And so the electronic currency is protected from being copied and just made fraudulent, like the way bills could be copied. Cryptocurrency can't be because it's run on a certain technology that makes it impossible to copy. And that's called blockchain technology. And I'm not going to explain everything about blockchain. You can find other videos like that elsewhere online. However, the next step to understand is this same technology, blockchain, is also what's allowing work to be sold. So just as cryptocurrency is secured, an electronic currency is secured, the ownership of it and the transfer of it is secured by something called blockchain technology. It's considered a very, very safe security method. The same thing is in the case for art. So previously, when photographs were sold in multiples, or there are editions of prints of digital art, there was the problem of ownership. Can't these photographs just be copied? How do we know one is an original? Well, you don't, right? You'd have to somehow keep track of it. A gallery would. That's called provenance, and it's often something that is it's debatable, and you have to go to court for it. It was hard to follow these things, right? With blockchain technology now, it makes it just like cryptocurrency. It makes it very difficult to copy the work, or impossible. So, okay, maybe you didn't understand anything that I've said so far. So let me give you a real simple method for getting your art involved in cryptocurrency and blockchain and NFTs. If you want to know what this is all about, there's one simple way to know what all of this is about, and that's to go out there and that's to buy a piece of art that's an NFT. If you do that, you'll understand everything about this process. Because what happens is you not only have to have a wallet that holds your Ethereum or Bitcoin, that's what it's called, it's a digital wallet on your phone or computer, but you'll also have to have what's called a wallet to hold your art that you bought. So again, this is abstract, right? It's a little mind-bending to understand. But the easiest way to get a hold of this whole process is simply to go and buy a piece of art. You'll see you'll spend almost nothing on it. You can buy it for very little. So and that'll teach you everything about this process. And the way you'll buy it essentially is you'll use a cryptocurrency that you have in your wallet. Maybe it's Ethereum, maybe it's Bitcoin or something else. You'll buy that piece of work, and then you will own that piece of work, and you'll own it in your wallet. Now, in a wallet that is digital. So why is that so important or interesting, right? I'm giving you a quick method so you can understand just what it's all about, and it's simply to try to buy a piece of art. And you can go to superrare.io. I'll put the link in here in the description as well, and you have to walk through their process. And you'll see initially it's complicated. You have to set up wallets, and it's going to be a little difficult at first, depending on how good you are at all of this. But once it's set up, it's just like PayPal or anything else. You're ready to go. Then you can just use your Ethereum, you can use your wallet, and be buying art. And that also will make you understand exactly how you can sell your art. And again, you'd be selling your art as an NFT, which means you'd be selling it, and people can buy it with a cryptocurrency like Ethereum, which is real cash to you. Okay, so that's the beginning of it. That's the kind of big picture of how all this works. Is this something that's just a trend, do you think? Is this something, is what's been asking, is this something that's just going to go away and it's a bubble that will burst? Likely no, because in this case, it's very good for artists. The reason it's very good for artists is not because you're a digital artist or you're not a digital artist and this is a great way to make money. It's not just this huge way to make money. I'll explain in a minute why people are making so much money out of it. But it's because the art will always be tracked. The owner of it will always be tracked. You'll know who the owner is. So for the first time in history, we can sell a print, we can sell something with an incredibly secure technology, and we'll always know if it's being resold. So there used to be something that artists dreamt of in the past, which is, when works sold for more at auctions, right? You sell a piece of work for $1,000, it gets resold for $10,000 and then more. The artist doesn't get a cut of that, right? And the artist tried to put it in contracts for years to get a cut back of this, of every time it's resold, the artist should get a chunk of that, right? Well, with NFTs and cryptocurrency, you can insert something called a smart contract, which means every time it's resold, you will automatically get paid for that. You will automatically get a percentage of that sale. That's game changing. That's incredible for artists. And again, this is right at its infancy. It's at its beginning. So it all seems like quite difficult to understand right now. But those are the advantages of it for artists. So part of the reason, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, that it's so hot right now is because investors are making money out of it. Why? I'll explain. Previously, it used to be that, you're an investor, you buy a piece of artwork as a collector, you hang it on your wall, maybe you sell it again in the future. Big collectors know that art goes up in value. Some art goes up in value more than anything else in the world. More than gold, art has risen, right? So if you buy a painting, you buy a drawing, you buy a sculpture, you buy art by a notable artist or a rising artist, it's possible you can resell it at auction and make money on that. And then that person who buys it at auction could potentially resell it again. Thus, a market is built for the artist and value is built. Well, with NFTs, it's much, much simpler because now as a collector, you're buying something that's digital, right? That you can simply hold in a digital wallet, and you can resell it online without an auction through a digital marketplace like Super Rare, and there you can make money on it immediately, right? And then people see that you've resold it, that person owns it, they can then resell it. So art becomes an investment in a way that it's never been before in history. Previously, for it to go from owner to owner to owner and slowly rise in price would take years usually. Now, as we've learned in the recent past few months, in 2021, in the early months of 2021, collectors have bought the art and they've resold it and made thousands and thousands of dollars on it right away. And again, that's because now art can be bought and sold very quickly and in secure terms. So if someone buys your digital art, they can also resell it, and potentially you can get a cut of that resale value. And the next collector can do the same. And they're building value for the art this way because it's documented that the art's been sold, resold, sold, resold, and then your value as an artist increases, but also so does the value for the collector. So that's where it's at right now. And I hope this is helpful and a little bit enlightening on this whole issue. There's plenty of videos out there on NFTs and how to get started with it. But as an artist, you're in a special position. There's two things that are important to know here. One, right now, this is a collector's market. Collectors are buying and reselling, buying and reselling. There are also artists who are making a lot of money on that. Does that mean any artist can put their work out there and make a lot of money? Maybe. The ones we're hearing now a lot about, like Beeple, is artists that already have a huge following. So their work goes up for sale, for auction. It seems very hot. People buy it on speculation, right? And if they're spending a lot of money on it, they get noticed right away, and that can then resell for more money. So this is a very interesting idea, right? It's a kind of a revolution in art collecting and in the art world. Again, how do you capitalize on this? How do you get involved in this? Even if all of this so far has gone over your head, you go to a site like Super Rare, and again, I'm linking to it here in the description, and go through the process of trying to buy a work of art. And you'll notice that you can't just simply go to that site and buy a work of art. You'll have to set up a wallet. You'll have to set up a digital wallet for your money, which is Ethereum. You'll have to transfer dollars or whatever your currency is into Ethereum or another cryptocurrency. And you'll have to have another wallet so that you can hold your purchases. And this is all a very secure system. There's many phrases you'll have to memorize or write down to be sure you have it right. So I hope this was helpful. This is the beginning of really a revolution, a new age. And where it will go, we don't know. But right now, it is something that protects the interests of artists. It protects the ownership and the copyright of images, right? For years, artists have been thinking, someone stole my image on Facebook, or they reproduced it here or there. That is now going to be something that will be much more difficult to do, because if that happens and your work has been out there and been sold as a digital product, there'll be a record of it and it'll be quite clear. So this is game-changing for artists. It's game-changing for collectors, because even though we're talking about digital projects and NFTs, which is non-fungible, things that you can't grab, it's also used for other types of artwork. So if you have a painting, a print, a sculpture, or a combination of things, a video and a sculpture, you can still sell them as NFTs, the physical object and the digital object, or just the physical object. Because if you're going through blockchain by using cryptocurrency, you're creating a track for this, a track record for this. And again, we're at its infancy, so you don't feel like you have to jump into this immediately. But I know there's tremendous interest, and I wanted to make a video on this so you get a little bit of an overview. Again, if you understood nothing of what I've said, because it is complex and there's many layers to this, you'll understand everything just by buying a piece of art or just setting yourself up to buy a piece of art. And you'll see there are things out there for $1, $2, $10. You don't have to spend much money. But once you do that, you'll be all set up, and then you'll understand the whole system and you can simply move forward. It's also a great way to pay it forward, right? So what I'm encouraging you to do in this video, if you're interested in NFTs and making your art for sale that way and becoming part of this investment craze that's happening now, go out there and try to buy a piece of artwork that's an NFT using cryptocurrencies. And you can do that through the link that I put here in the description. I'd love to hear your experiences with it, so please comment, and I hope this was helpful. I wish you well.